This is the dangers of doing sales similar. Got to make sure you update those titles and also the photos. This was early on, so I don't tend to make these mistakes anymore, at least not very often. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Richard. I'm a part-time reseller on eBay where I go to garage sales and thrift stores. I sell those undervalued items and sell them on eBay for a profit. Today's going to be a what's sold video. One thing I wanted to talk about, is it worth selling lower dollar items? And for me, I've only been reselling for 4 years. Yes, I could say lower dollar items, as long as you list them correctly and sell them at a good price, that can actually bring you positive feedback. And as a new reseller, that's the things you need to get, is to build up your positive feedback. So I'm out here right now. I'm in my small vineyard. Kind of the temperatures kind of dropped down. We got a storm coming in, but I figured I'd come out and film and show you guys out here. So let's jump in and see what's sold. We're back here in the eBay store. We got just 3 orders going out today. Got back from vacation and forgot to turn my store back on till Saturday. So yeah, we just have 3 orders going out. First thing is an 85th anniversary special, the Ultimate Guide to Superman. And that's going to be right up here in our magazines. Should be this one right here. It's this right here. Magazines I'm into for nothing. This sold for $5.91 and the buyer is paying $4.63 in shipping. We have another magazine going out. This is The Story of Dracula, magazine 2023. And it's going to be this one right here. Get it out without hurting it. So, another free magazine going out. This sold for $5.91 and the buyer is paying $6.80 in shipping. Okay, looks like we're going over to bin A2. This is a new Arizona Wildcats all cat sneaker size 9. And these are by Footwear and they're going to be right up here. Slide that over. Here's one. And where's the other one? There it is. So it's these right here. Pick these up at a local thrift store. I'm into them for $6. They sold for $37.36 and the buyer is paying $13.60 in shipping. Today we've got 4 orders going out. We had 5, had to cancel one of them. I'll explain that here in a little bit. So 4 items going out for a little over $115. Let's get started. First thing we have going out is another one of these new Proform shaft guard nipple protection for athletes and runners. This is in bin X, so that's going to be right here. Should have these in a bag. Yep, right here. And as you can see, we're running low. Picked this up on RA. I believe I'm maybe into it for 10 cents. Older item. Definitely glad these things are moving out. Buyer came in and said he was waiting for the price to drop on it. So I sent him an offer lower than what he was waiting for. And he came in and bought it right away. This sold for $5.88 and it is going free shipping. I wanted to jump in real quick, explain. A lot of people do sell similar. The dangers behind that is even experienced resellers, we don't go through everything and we miss stuff. Then it comes back as a return item wasn't as described. So when doing sell similar, one thing you got to do is you got to make sure you go through everything. There might be something in there, the number of quantity, things like that, that you're going to miss. Even if you're selling sell similar from one of your old listings, double check that and make sure there's nothing in there that's going to cause a return to come back. Because one of the things you'll find out, you might forget to change the photos and it won't be the same, or even the title, because the title could be slightly different. Even though it's the same item, it could have some deficiencies, and you got to make sure you disclose that to the buyer. So for me, it's come back and bit me in the you know what, and I'm gonna have to go through some of my older listings where I was inexperienced stuff and I didn't fully disclose stuff. Now some of that stuff is selling and it's coming back and I'm getting returns. So one thing I want to say is if you're doing a sell similar, go through, double check, triple check the listing, making sure there's not one thing in there, because when you sell similar, you're copying over somebody else's listing and they could have put something in there that is not exactly describing your item. Next item going out, just listed it yesterday and it sold that quick. This is one of the items I picked up when I was visiting family in Nevada this year. Should have the video out shortly over on the Ford Pinto Picker channel. So this is HP 951 XL tricolor 3-pack. Was brand new in the package. Thing about selling ink, if it's expired, you can still sell it. Just make sure you disclose the expiration date inside the title itself, and that's what I did, and this sold right away. It was expired. Paid $3 for this. This is in bin L, so that's going to be right over here. So it's this right here. Again, paid $3. This sold for $39.95 and the buyer is paying $6.90 in shipping. Okay, this next item, this is one of the ones I messed up on, and these listings are somewhat old, at least probably 3 years old. It's some license plate frames. Inside the title, I had one that said vintage 1972 Ford Mustang metal license plate frame. And apparently there was another one which was a 1969 metal license plate frame, but it had photos 1972. So the buyer came in, asked me about the one listing, and I said, well, it's exactly what the photo is, not realizing I had one that was a 69. So apparently this is the dangers of doing sell similar. Got to make sure you update those titles and also the photos. This was early on, so I don't tend to make these mistakes anymore, at least not very often.
Ah, you're teasing me, naughty, naughty.
So that's going to be in bin O. It's going to be right up here. And so the buyer came in and bought both of these, 1972 and the 1969. I had to explain to the buyer once I looked at the item, realizing that the photo was not correct. So I asked him if he wanted me to cancel both orders or just cancel one of them. He said, well, I have a 1972, and he asked to cancel the 1969 Mustang. So that's what I did. This sold for $28.67, and the buyer is paying $6.90 in shipping. I had picked these up on a high bid lot well over 3 years ago, sold most of them off, made some really good money. These were like the last two I had sitting in there. So what I'm gonna have to do is on the 1969, I'm gonna have to get photos and update the photos to get that corrected. That's probably why it sat so long. Now, I don't remember what I paid for these, but I bought a whole entire box, and I might have paid $10 for the entire box. One of them was Arizona, sold that some years back, and it was the copper plates. Those sold for some really good money. Sold some other vintage ones as well. Last thing going out, these are Beverly Hills Polo Club cargo camel shorts. I also put hiking men's size 32. These are in bin X2, so that should be down over here. Yep, right over in here. We do have a custom SKU on there, which is 1092. And 1090, not 1092, and I can see them right there on top. So as you can see, I do put a custom SKU on here. I don't put the bin that it's in because a lot of times I'll repurpose my bins, and if they're closed, I'll just go consolidate them into a new bin and update those listings, and I don't have to change the tag. These tags I print out sequentially, so I've printed out quite a few of them, and when I do list close, that's what I use. Picked these up at one of the local thrift stores here in town for 50 cents. These sold for $14.75, and the buyer is paying $6.80 in shipping. Today we've got 3 orders going out for $155, so let's get started. First thing we have going out, just listed this yesterday. I picked it up Tuesday, earlier this week, from local thrift store. It's a Left 4 Dead 2 Microsoft Xbox 360 Platinum Hits. It is complete. It's got the manual. Picked up quite a few video games, and at this thrift store I'm only into them for 25 cents each. So this is in bin L. It's going to be right here. Should be this guy right here. Into it for 25 cents. This sold for $24.95, and the buyer is paying $5.90 in shipping. Next item, this is an RA item. Picked this up probably 3-4 months ago. Thought this stuff, it had really good comps. I thought it was going to move out quicker than it has, but is what it is. These are the Bratz limited edition mini cosmetic. I did lot 3 of them together, and they are 2 packs. I'm into these for $2 each, so not a big profit here. It's these guys right here. So it's 3 of these. So total cost of goods is $6. These sold for $19.10, and the buyer is paying $8.60 in shipping. Last item we have going out, this is a pretty good item. I picked this up on the Citywide this year. It's a Sony ICF-CD 54 3RM FM AM CD player. It is one of the under the cabinets. And I put Mega Bass, and it did have the remote. This is on shelf 5. So it should be right here somewhere. Wonder if I put it in this box. No, that's not it. It says shelf 5, but I'm not seeing it. Oh, bet you that's it right there. Let's take this down and bring it back over here. Yes, this is it right here. Paid $10 for this at a garage sale. This sold for $69.95, and the buyer is paying $17.10 in shipping. So I just wanted to say, if you're still watching me, even though I haven't posted a video in a while, I'm trying to get better about that. So I apologize, but I do these videos so a lot of the new resellers out there, they can see the things that are selling and help them get an understanding of the things that they need to pick up. So I appreciate all you watching. If you made it this far, thank you very much. Just want to say, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Helps the channel. Also too, if you're not currently subscribed, consider subscribing down below. Hit that bell notification. You'll be notified the next time I do a video. In closing, I just want to say, keep picking.